Peace. This is King Noble Black Supremacy. And with this particular video, I want to call it the Kevin Hart Cheat on Your Wife Challenge. Interesting challenge. But my alternate title is Kevin Hart is successful at being fake, or fake at being successful. Either way you want to flip it. But for those of you who that title is too deep, I'll just say the Kevin Hart Cheat on Your Wife Challenge. Now, Kevin Hart is really fake at being successful, or he's going after fake success. Because when you attain true success, you can be who you are. You can pretty much present to the world who and what you really are. You don't have to try to appear to live up to other people's standards, or live up to some standards that seem to be universal. You can live up to your own standards and play the game by your own rules. I would think that would be success. But in Kevin Hart's situation, he's only successful at being fake. And thus he has attained fake success, which is really no success at all, which is why it can be taken from you, or you can be extorted, or one expose video can pretty much end your career or put a serious dent in it. Kevin Hart can't come out and tell the world that, I'm interested in more than one woman. I'm a polygamist. I want to have more than one woman. I'm not into the status quo or ordinary perception of just a black man being with one woman. I'm just not into monogamy. He can't just come out and say that. Because when you're a stool pigeon, or your success doesn't really belong to you, and you're playing to somebody else's tune, making somebody else laugh, and your image has been created to entertain, to be tolerable, acceptable, you can't come out and say nothing like that. So his wife might even accept polygamy. She might not have no problem with him dating and being with other women. But the world has a problem with that. The world is going to come out against Kevin Hart, because they want Kevin Hart to live up to their standards of who Kevin Hart should be and what type of man he should be in this particular society, particularly as a black man. He has to fit the mold. A little bit outside of that mold and he's a womanizer. He gets beat up like R. Kelly and other artists. He has a thin line to walk. He's not really successful in any authentic way. He's successful with playing by their rules and creating this good boy image, creating this fake good black man image, this nice guy, this funny guy that makes everybody laugh. Not this authentic, genuine, and real heterosexual black man that could have an interest in multiple women. That's not funny. Nobody's laughing at that particular joke. That's a joke they don't want to laugh at. They don't find that funny. They find that sexually offensive. That a black man in 2017 would be interested in more than one woman. That's sexually offensive. But you can go put on a purple dress and dress up like a woman. That's funny. That's entertainment. But a black heterosexual, that's not really nothing to laugh at, man. That's a damn shame that you couldn't just be with that one woman. That you want more than one woman. Now you looked at as a greedy, vicious, savage, dog womanizer. Because you had a good boy image. Everything you've been doing been good boy stuff. The stuff you've been speaking on, helping sending the kids back to school. Kevin Hart has been that good guy that makes you laugh sometimes and makes some controversial things, may say some controversial things, but he keeps it within the realm of being funny. He tends to be neutral. He had people come out and support Houston. That's what a good guy would do. Raise money for Houston. It's so unfortunate that you would need a Kevin Hart challenge to support people in Houston. That it took somebody to come out and challenge you to do that. I mean, that's a goddamn shame that you can have to do this in Kevin Hart's name. That you didn't have enough compassion for suffering people in Houston that you needed a Kevin Hart to come and challenge you to give money. That's a damn shame. I'm glad he did it though, because he got the much needed support that was needed in Houston. But it's a damn shame that it has to come to that a celebrity, artificial, entertainer personality has to cajole you into doing what's right. Because the truth is, you don't even know what the fuck right is anymore, because you're not real anymore. You have to do what you expected to do and what you're supposed to do, and that's what you try to do. What's popular, what's okay to do. Not what's real. Not what a real man would do. But what's acceptable. And that's the problem I have here with Kevin Hart. Is that he's been trying to compensate for the real him, overcompensate by trying to play a good guy image, because he walks around with a guilt consciousness, feeling guilty for being a heterosexual black male. That's why he's apologizing to his wife and kids right now. He's apologizing for being a real man, a real heterosexual who have desires for women that will not go away because you found one. Your desire to procreate and sexually reproduce yourself. Your sex drive will not disappear because you have found a woman that you love and care about and want to take care of and have a family with. Your heterosexual sex drive does not disappear. You will no longer not find women who are sexually attractive to you that you want to interface with and be with. This will be the plight of every heterosexual black man. That is a reality and has been the plight. And he is apologizing for it. He's apologizing for being a heterosexual, doing what a typical heterosexual would do and is going to do. He's not really apologizing to his family. Because the same attraction that he had to birth those children and have that family is the same attraction that he continues to have another one. It didn't go anywhere. So he can't apologize to them, because being a man is why they were even born. Being a man is why he even has the family that he has right now. So he can't apologize to them. Who is he apologizing to? He's apologizing to society. He's apologizing to the Matrix for not living up to their standards, for not living up to the false perception and the artificial identity and tightrope that he was supposed to walk. He's apologizing to his fans, his producers, those who believe in the false image of Kevin Hart. The real Kevin Hart wants more than one woman. The fake Kevin Hart gives you this image of this monogamous, self-righteous, goody two-shoe, slightly effeminized black comedian. That's the fake Kevin Hart. See, he's apologizing to you for not living up to that, for being guilty of being a real black man at the end of the day. I don't even believe the man cheated on his wife. I believe she knew what was going on and accepted it. But he has to keep the image going. And what bothers me is that you can become successful, so-called successful, gets millions of dollars, filthy rich, and you still have to lie. You still have to live a life that is a lie. You still have to tap dance and beat around the bush. You still have to be fake. So then you have to ask, is your success real if you have to be fake? If you have to live a lie and in an illusion and an artificial reality? If you have to live in the matrix? Is your success real? What have you become successful at being other than a goddamn liar? The real person is being cheated here is Kevin Hart. He's cheating himself because he's probably going to do it again. And again and again and again. So the real person is being cheated here is not his wife and his family, and not his fans and producers and society, but himself. He's cheating the real black man in him to try to live in a false artificial paradigm that is really not natural to him, which we're calling monogamy. The culture of his slave master, not African traditional culture, not indigenous culture, but the culture of his slave master he's forcing himself to live in. And the good Negro is what he's trying to be. See, the good Negro is actually overcompensation sometimes for low self-esteem. Because if you believe you ain't nothing and you ain't nobody within yourself, you'll go out of your way to make yourself appear to look good to others when really you carry a negative idea about yourself. And that's why you have coons shucking and jiving, because they really believe in the negative information or negative stereotypes that have been told about them. They believe it, and then they overcompensate to reverse that perception in their own mind, and they end up doing what you call good. But the good ain't even genuine. It ain't even authentic. It's just to reverse the low negative perception that they have in their mind. Is to fight against their low self-esteem. It's not out of compassion or care for others. It's to make one's own self look good. And that's why he made helping people in Houston the Kevin Hart challenge, because he had to make himself look good simultaneously while he was trying to help others. Because he feels bad about himself, so he has to do things. He has to take steroids, do acts of giving and charity. Those are his steroids to try to rebuild up his true inherent low self-esteem that he has about himself. So he becomes more and more successful at being fake, because the real him, he's now learned to love and appreciate and to embrace and to accept and to live as that. Because he's built a career. He's built a life and damn near an empire off his false self. Off a false narrative about who he is. Smiling in your face. Smiling at you, laughing with you. While behind the scenes, he on some real nigga shit. Doing what real niggas do. And gonna continue to do that. That's a fact. All this success and money to live a lie, to not even be able to be a real black man. White success, material success within their paradigm strips you of your realness. As a black man, you can't be real no more. You have to play by their game, live up to their image. And he couldn't do it no more. Because you can't do it. You can't live up to a fake image about who you are. Eventually, that's going to come down. Eventually, you're going to get exposed. You're going to get exposed to being who and what you really are, as long as you're in the public. And he's apologizing after being exposed for being himself. And this will go on for a very long time. Apologizing. But if he wear a dress and makeup and lipstick, he don't apologize for giving you this effeminate imagery. They don't apologize for that. To black male heterosexuality, to black manhood, they don't apologize for that. But if they do something that's ultra or hyper heterosexual, now they apologizing. Bitch ass niggas, man. Bitch made niggas. I had to go in on Kevin Hart. Will the success that you want turn you into a bitch ass nigga though? Shucking and jiving, backpedaling, apologetic, weak ass Negro. Or will the success you want manifest you into the highest version of your highest vision? Will you become unapologetic and totally, absolutely authentic? Will you end up there? Because that will be a real contribution. That will be like more than sending $1,000 to Houston or sending a few kids to college. Like being a real entity, being a real being. I don't think there's no more contribution that can be offered to this plane than being an authentic and real entity and a real being. That has to have some value when we see the broken image of the black man today in this particular society. This King Noble Black Supremacy. Hit the like button. Subscribe to my YouTube page right now, King Noble Guru. Hit the subscription button. Hit the notification button so you get notified every time I put new videos out. And join my website, www.kingnobleuncensored.com. Donate and don't hate.